الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على إمامنا وقرة عيننا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته واختفى أثره إلى يوم الدين وبعد. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على حبيبنا وقرة عيننا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. نستأنف إخواني الكرام أخواتي الكريمات حديثنا في منزلة الصبر، ونذكر أن الإمام أحمد ذكر أن الصبر مذكور في القرآن في 90 أو أكثر من 90 موضعا.
The Sheikh, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and saying salat and salam on the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that we will continue regarding the patience, the topic of patience. And I would like to remind you that Al-Imam Ahmad mentioned that sabr was mentioned, or patience was mentioned in the Quran more than 90 times.
ثم بين أنها على 16 مرتبة.
Then he clarified, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim clarified that there are 16, could be categorized into 16 types of ways that the patience was mentioned.
ذكرت في القرآن.
That were mentioned in the Quran.
وهذا الأمر يدل على عظيم أمر الصبر.
This shows the importance and greatness of patience.
فكثرة ذكر القرآن له.
For the Quran to be mentioning patience many times,
وتنوعه في طرحه,
and mentioning it in a variety of ways,
يدل دلالة كبيرة على عظم موضوع الصبر.
This shows that patience has a very great importance.
وأنه من الأخلاق الأساسية.
And that patience is one of the foundational characteristics that one should have.
التي يجب أن يتحلى بها كل إنسان.
That every human being should adorn himself with patience.
مسلما كان أم غير مسلم.
Whether he is Muslim or non-Muslim.
فالصبر لا يختص بالمسلمين.
Patience is not only special and specific to Muslims.
لأن الكافر أو غير المسلم,
because the disbeliever or the non-Muslim,
إذا لم يتحلى بالصبر لن يعيش.
If he does not adorn himself with patience, he cannot even live.
فمصلحته الدنيوية,
so his worldly benefit,
تقتضي عليه أن يصبر.
necessitates that he has to be patient.
في وظيفته,
regarding his work,
ومع زوجته,
with his wife,
ومع أولاده,
with his children,
ومع جيرانه,
with his neighbors.
وإذا لم يصبر لن يعيش.
If he does not become patient, then he will not be able to live.
فإذا كان هذا الحال مع غير المسلم فمع المسلم أولى.
So if this is the condition of patience with the non-Muslim, then it has even more status with the Muslim.
ثم بعد ذلك بين أنواع تعريف الصبر.
Then after that he clarified, he defined patience.
وبين أنواعه.
And he also clarified the types of patience.
وجعل له بعض الأنواع.
And he put it in different categories.
لا داعي لإعادة أمرها.
We don't need to repeat what we mentioned.
كي نستغل الوقت.
So that we can make use of the time.
لذلك نكمل إن شاء الله.
So we continue إن شاء الله.
حيث وقفنا.
Where we stopped.
مع ابن القيم رحمه الله.
With Ibn al-Qayyim رحمه الله.
يقول ابن القيم رحمه الله.
He says رحمه الله.
ولكن.
But.
أي بعد كل ما سبق.
Meaning after all that was mentioned before.
مهما تنوعت عبارات الناس في تعريف الصبر.
Regardless of the different expressions that the different people have defined patience with.
فإنه لا خلاف.
There is no difference whatsoever.
بين أهل العلم.
Between the people of knowledge.
أن أظهر معاني الصبر.
That the most manifest of the meanings of patience.
حبس النفس عن المكروه.
Is to withhold oneself from evil or things that are bad.
وأنه.
And that it is.
من أصعب المنازل على العامة.
And that this station or patience is one of the most difficult stations for the general folks.
وأوحشها في طريق المحبة.
And this is the position or status that is the most alienating on the way of loving Allah.
ثم يعلل
Then he clarifies and explains.
الإمام ابن القيم
رحمه الله.
يعلل هذا الأمر لماذا كان صعبا على العامة.
He clarifies why it is difficult for the general folks.
فيقول
He says
لأن العامية
that is because the layman,
مبتدئ في الطريق
he is just starting on the way
وليس له دربة في السلوك
and he has no training in terms of adorning himself with the good characteristics,
ولا تهذيب المرتاضي بقطع المنازل
and he does not have the experience of the one who has passed different stations.
فإذا أصابته المحن
So if he was struck with calamities,
أدركه الجزع
then he would become impatient.
وصعب عليه إدراك البلاء وصعب عليه أن يدرك أو احتمال البلاء.
It becomes difficult for him to endure the trials or the difficulties.
وعز عليه وجدان الصبر.
And for him to find patience, this is something that is rare.
لأنه ليس من أهل الرياضة.
That is because he's not one of those who are training themselves for that. He's just a beginner.
فيكون مستوطنا للصبر.
So he will not be able to have patience.
ولا من أهل المحبة.
And he is not from the people of love, loving Allah.
فيلتذ بالبلاء في رضا محبوبه.
So he does not have this, so he doesn't have patience, and he's not from the people who are lovers, and therefore he will not be able to enjoy enduring the pain.
والأضرب مثالا أقرب به هذا الكلام.
He said, I will give an example to make this clear.
لو أنك في أول أمرك ذهبت إلى ناد رياضي.
If at the beginning of your time you went to a sports club,
تريد أن تتدرب,
a fitness club, you want to train,
هل يضعونك في التمارين الصعبة أم اليسيرة؟
what kind of training they start with, the easy ones or the difficult, hard ones?
هل يبدأون دفعة واحدة أم يتدرجون؟
Do they start once with the difficult ones, or they start gradually training you piece by piece?
في أول مرة ذهبت إلى هذا النادي يسمح لك 10 دقائق أو ربع ساعة.
You go the first time when you go, they allow you maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
مع الوقت
And over time,
ومع التمرين
and along with the training
وكثرة الذهاب
and going a lot to the
يسمح
club,
لك بساعات.
then they give you more time, they give you hours.
وهكذا النفس.
And that is the soul, the
لا
human
بد
soul.
أن تتروض
It has to be trained.
على تحمل المشق.
It has to be trained to withstand and endure pain
وتحمل المصاعب.
and to go through the difficulties.
لذلك كان الصبر صعبا لمن لم يعتد.
That's why patience is not easy for the one who is not used to it.
ويمرن نفسه على ذلك.
The one who does not train himself to that will find it difficult.
ثم قال ابن القيم رحمه الله.
Then he said, رحمه الله,
والصبر من آكد المنازل في طريق المحبة.
Patience is one of the most emphasized stations on the path of loving Allah.
وألزمها للمحبين.
The lovers, they have to stick to it.
ذكرت البارحة مجنون ليلى.
I mentioned yesterday the one who is called the one who's crazy about Layla.
جاع من أجلها.
He got hungry because of her, for her sake.
لكثرة حبه لها.
Because he was so much infatuated, or he loved her
بلغ
so
المصاعب.
much. So he went through difficulties,
والمشاق.
or hardship and
وهجر
difficulties.
الأهل.
He abandoned his family.
فتحمل كل المصاعب لأجل المحبة.
He went through all of these difficulties because he used to love her.
وهذا هو ارتباط الصبر بالمحبة.
This is how patience is linked to love.
لولا أنكم تحبون السماع ما صبرتم وجلستم في هذه الساعة.
Were it not for the fact that you love to listen to this lecture, then you wouldn't be patient to sit and stay.
لأن الأمر شاق.
That is because it is difficult.
لذلك الحب والصبر ملتزمان.
This is why love and patience they are necessary for one another, or one leads to the other.
فكلما زاد حبك
The more you have of the love,
زاد صبرك.
the more you have of the patience.
وهذا هو مقصد الإمام ابن القيم رحمه الله.
This is what the Imam intends by the statements that he made.
سؤال:
A question.
كيف كانت صلاة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في طولها؟
How was the prayer of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in terms of how long it was?
هل كانت سريعة أم طويلة؟
Was it fast or long?
لماذا؟
And why?
ولماذا؟
And why?
سؤال: طويلة أم قصيرة؟ لماذا؟ لا، هي الوضع الطبيعي. لما جعلت قرة عينه في الصلاة.
So the Prophet's prayer was long in general. So when he found satisfaction, coolness of the eye because of the salah,
صبر عليها.
He was patient.
وأطال فيها.
He was patient to do it and he elongated it.
وهكذا كلما دخلت إلى أمر تحبه فإنك تصبر عليه.
And in the same way, every time you embark or you go into something that you love, then you are patient to do it.
وكلما قل حبك قل صبرك.
And the little love you have, then the little patience you will have.
هذا ملخص ما قاله ابن القيم رحمه الله.
This is the summary of what he said عليه رحمة الله.
ثم ينقل كلاما فيقول: والصبر والمحبة لا يتناقضان.
So then he quotes a statement. He says that the patience, the patience and the love, or the patience and love, they do not contradict one
بل
another.
يتواخيان ويتصاحبان.
Rather, they are like two brothers and they are two companions of one another.
وهذا الكلام هو يؤكد ما قلت قبل قليل.
And this emphasizes the words that I mentioned earlier.
فإذا رأى صبره بالله وصبره لله وصبره مع الله مشاهدا أن صبره به سبحانه تعالى لا به بنفسه فهذا لا تلحق محبته وحشة أبدا ولا توحيده نكارة أبدا.
So he says that the one who actualizes or sees or witnesses that his patience is by Allah, his patience is for the sake of Allah, and his patience is with Allah, witnessing that his patience is by Allah Ta'ala, not by himself. So this type of patience, his or patient people, his love for Allah will not have any strangeness or alienation, and his tawheed, his belief in the oneness of Allah, will not have anything wrong with it.
في تعاملي مع الله
In your dealing with Allah,
لابد أن أنظر إلى ثلاثة أشياء.
I have to look at three matters.
أول شيء
The first one,
قمة الحب
the love and the extreme love, or the
لله.
peak of love for Allah. You have to have extreme love for Allah.
الثاني
Second,
قمة الخوف
the extreme fear of
من الله.
from Allah.
الثالث
The third one,
قمة الرجاء مما عند الله.
you have to have extreme hope in what Allah has.
ولا بد من الموازنة بين هذه الثلاثة.
And those three have to be balanced.
وأشبه ذلك بالطائر.
And this, I will give you the parable or the example of the airplane.
رأسه المحبة.
The love is the head of the.
وجناحاه الخوف والرجاء.
The love is the head of the bird, and the two wings are the love and the fear.
ولا يستطيع الإنسان
The hope and the fear are the wings, and the head is the love.
أن يحسن التعامل مع الله إلا بهذه الثلاثة.
So the human being cannot deal with Allah in a good way. He cannot worship Allah perfectly except by having those three matter altogether.
الذي أوقع الناس في تكفير الناس.
What made some people fall into labeling others as non-Muslims
والتشاؤم.
and to be very pessimistic
هو أنهم غلبوا جانب الخوف على جانب الرجاء.
is the fact that they gave fear more weight than hope.
والذي جعل بعض الناس يزنون ويسرقون ويأكلون أموال الناس بالباطل ثم يقولون ليوم الله بعين الله.
And what made the people fall into adultery, stealing, and other sins, and then they claim the love of Allah, or they claim, they are close to Allah,
هو أنهم غلبوا
is the fact that they gave more weight.
جانب الرجاء على جانب الخوف.
They gave more weight to hope in Allah over fearing Allah.
وبعض الناس ترك الأمرين والتفت إلى المحبة.
And some people, they left both matters, fear and hope, and they only paid attention to love of Allah.
كما نسب إلى ربيعة العدوية.
As it was attributed to Rabi'ah, that she said,
أنا لا أعبدك يا رب طمعا في جنتك ولا خوفا من نارك.
She said, I'm not worshipping you, O Allah, I'm not worshipping you hoping in your paradise or fearing the fire, your fire.
وإنما أعبدك حبا لك.
Rather, I worship you because I love you.
وكل هؤلاء في ضلال مبين.
And all of these people, they are in manifest misguidance.
والصحيح
And what is correct
كما قال الله
is like what Allah said.
إنهم كانوا يدعوننا رغبا ورهبا.
Surely they used to call upon us out of hope and fear.
يدعوننا رغبا
They call
في جنتي
they
ورهبا من عذابي.
They out of them hoping in our paradise and fearing our punishment.
وكانوا لنا خاشعين.
And they used to be for us completely devoted.
وهذه المحبة.
And this is the love.
لذلك يا إخوة يا أخوات لابد أن ننتبه إلى هذا التأصيل.
This is why, brothers and sisters, we have to pay attention to this foundation.
ثم يقول ابن القيم رحمه الله.
Then Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah says,
والخوف من الوعيد لأن هناك وعد ووعيد.
Fearing the warnings from of Allah.
الله عز وجل حينما أرسل الأنبياء وعلى رأسهم محمد بن عبد الله.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent messengers, and amongst them is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
أرسلهم مبشرين ومنذرين.
He sent them as givers of good news and as warners.
مبشرين بالجنة ومنذرين من النار.
They give good news of paradise and they warn against the fire.
ولا بد من الموازنة بينه.
And these two matters have to be balanced.
يعلق ابن القيم على مثل هذا المعنى فيقول.
Ibn al-Qayyim comments on this meaning saying,
والخوف من الوعيد
fearing the warnings of Allah,
جد مفيد.
it's very beneficial.
في حمل المرء على الصبر عن المعاصي والبعد عنها.
It is very beneficial in terms of pushing the person to be patient, to stay away from disobediences.
والبعد عنها أي المعاصي.
And staying away from committing sins.
جد مفيد.
It is very beneficial also.
بدوره في حفظ الإيمان والإبقاء عليه.
It is very beneficial in terms of preserving faith and making it stay.
فإن المعصية تنقض الإيمان.
Because disobedience, it will diminish the faith.
أو تنقصه.
It either makes it go away or it makes it diminished.
أو تذهب رونقه.
Or it will remove its beauty.
أو تطفئ نوره.
Or it will put out its light.
أو تضعف قوته.
Or it will weaken its strength.
أو تنقص ثمرته.
Or it will diminish its fruits.
وهذا أمر ضروري بين المعصية وبين الإيمان.
This is something that is very important.
فإذا دخلت المعصية على القلب
If the disobedience enters upon the heart
وقامت بها الجوارح
and it was the sin has been established by the body parts,
أضعف الإيمان.
then the iman becomes weaker.
وكلما ابتعد
And the more one strays away,
عن تلك المعاصي
the more the one stays away from the disobediences,
ارتفع الإيمان.
then the iman increases.
لذلك يا إخوة،
This is why our
يا
brothers
أخوات،
and sisters,
لذلك من عقيدتنا أن الإيمان يزيد وينقص.
it's from our beliefs is that iman increases and decreases.
يزيد بالطاعات
It increases by obediences
وينقص بالمعاصي.
and decreases by sins.
انظر إلى نفسك تجد هذا جليا.
Look at yourself and you will find that this is crystal clear.
فإنك إن جلست على مكان فيه فسق
So because if you sit in a place where there is sins or wickedness going on,
تشعر أن الإيمان يضطرب.
you feel that your iman starts shaking.
وإذا جلست في مجلس يذكر الله
And if you sit in a sitting where Allah is mentioned,
شعرت أن الإيمان يرتفع.
you feel that iman increases.
يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
The Prophet ﷺ says
لا يزني الزاني حين يزني وهو مؤمن
that the one who commits adultery, he does not commit it while he is a believer.
ولا يشرب الخمر حين يشربها وهو مؤمن
And he wouldn't drink intoxicants while he is a believer.
ولا يسرق حين يسرق وهو مؤمن
And he does not steal when he is stealing while he is a believer.
ولا ينتهب نهبة ذات شرف يرفع إليه الناس بها أبصارهم حين ينتهبها وهو مؤمن.
And he does not steal or snatch away something that has a value that the people will look up to. When he steals it, he does not do that while he is a believer.
ثم يقول النبي
Then he says, عليه الصلاة
صلى
والسلام,
الله عليه وسلم فإياكم وإياكم.
so beware and beware.
والتوبة معروضة بعده.
And he says, and repentance is offered or presented after that.
ولننتبه يا إخوة أن هذا الحديث قد يستشهد به بعض من يكفر.
We should understand or take note that this hadith, some people who label others as non-Muslims, they might use this hadith.
أصحاب المعاصي.
They might label the sinners amongst Muslims, they might label them as non-Muslims.
ونفي الدرجة العليا لا يقتضي نفي الدرجة الدنيا.
Negating the highest level of faith, that is, does not mean negating the lowest level of faith.
لو كان الحديث كالآتي.
If the hadith was like this,
لا يزني الزاني حين يزني وهو مسلم.
That the adulterer does not commit adultery while he is Muslim,
لكان لهم وجهة نظر.
then maybe they would have a point.
والله عز وجل قال في القرآن
Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran,
قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا.
the Bedouin Arabs, they said, we believe. Say you did not believe, but rather say we surrender or submit.
يعلق ابن القيم رحمه الله بعد ذكره لهذا الحديث فيقول ولكن
Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he comments after mentioning this hadith, he says,
لما كان الحياء من شيم الأشراف.
But since shyness and modesty was from the qualities of the noble people,
وأهل الكرم.
the people of generosity,
وأصحاب النفوس الزكية.
the people who have pure and sanctified souls,
كان صاحبه أحسن حالا.
then the one who has shyness, modesty, his condition,
من أهل الخوف ومطالعة الوعيد.
his condition is better than the condition of the people of fear and those who are considering the warnings of Allah.
لأن في الحياء من الله
That is because in shyness from Allah,
ما يدل على مراقبته وحضور القلب معه.
shyness from Allah shows that the person is watchful and his heart is attentive and is with Allah.
سؤال:
A question.
الحياء كم قسم؟
The shyness, how many types is it? حياء.
كم نوع؟
How many types is shyness?
كم هذه؟ 10 أنواع.
How many are these? He said 10.
سيأتي الكلام عنها إن شاء الله في درس لاحق. سأتكلم عن الحياء
So inshallah we will talk about
وأشرح
shyness.
هذه الأقسام 10.
Later on it has 10 types and we will talk about them inshallah in another lecture.
قال ولأن فيه من تعظيمه وإجلاله ما ليس في وازع الخوف.
Also in shyness there is glorification of Allah Azza wa Jal and holding Him to be great, that which is not in the feelings or the fear from Allah.
فمن وازعه الخوف
So the one who has fear,
قلبه حاضر مع العقوبة.
his heart is attentive and is witnessing the punishment.
ومن وازعه الحياء
But the one who has the haya,
قلبه حاضر مع الله.
his heart is present with Allah.
والخائف مراع جانب نفسه وحمايتها.
The one who has the fear, he is looking and giving care to his own self and trying to protect himself.
والمستحي مراع جانب ربه وملاحظ عظمته.
While the one who has the shyness, he is taking diligent care of the side of his Lord and he is witnessing and noting the greatness of his Lord.
وكلا المقامين من مقامات أهل الإيمان.
Both stations, fear and shyness, are from the stations of the people of faith.
غير أن الحياء أقرب إلى مقام الإحسان وألصق به.
But al-haya is closer to the station of al-ihsan, perfection, and it is more closer, much more closer to it.
هناك كلام طويل في باب الصبر لا نريد أن نفصل، لكن بقيت نقطة لا بد أن نفصل فيها.
Said there are a lot of more details about patience. We don't want to go through that, but there is one point that is left that we want to somewhat speak about it with details.
الصبر في المحن على أذى الظالمين.
Being patient in trials, patient with the harm that you get from the oppressors.
وظلم ذوي القربى أشد مرارة.
And the injustice committed to you, the oppression that is committed to you from the people who are relatives to you,
أب
it is more severe.
ظلم أبناءه
Like a father who oppresses his children.
ومايز بينهم في العطاء.
And he was not fair and just between them in terms of giving them.
أعطى وحرم.
So he gave some and he deprived others.
أو خالف في المعاملة.
Or he is different, treating them differently.
فكان يحسن إلى البعض ويسيء إلى الآخر.
He was kind to some of his children and unkind to the others.
وقد يكون الحال من الأم.
And the same could have been done by the mother.
ومن الإخوة.
Or the brothers.
وقد يكون من أرباب العمل.
And it could be from the people who are at your job.
وقد يكون من الجيران.
Maybe it's from the neighbors.
ومن الأصدقاء.
And the friends.
ومن الأعداء.
And also from the enemies.
فأنا قد أتعرض إلى الظلم.
Maybe you get oppressed
من هؤلاء جميعا.
by all of these.
أو أتعرض من بعضهم دون بعض.
Or I'm oppressed by some, not the others.
فكيف أستجلب الصبر؟
How can I make myself be patient?
وأستعين عليه.
And how do I seek help to be patient?
يقول ابن القيم رحمه الله.
He says, عليه رحمة الله,
أستعين بذلك بثلاثة أشياء.
You will help yourself to be patient by having 3 matters.
السؤال واضح. كيف أستعين وأستجلب الصبر إذا نزلت بي بلية أو ظلمني ظالم.
So the question inshallah is clear. How do I seek to be patient? What can I do to help myself to be patient when I get oppressed or go through some calamity?
الأمر الأول يا إخوة
The first one
ملاحظة حسن الجزاء.
is to take note of or to witness the good reward.
فإن الله جاز الصابرين أجمل جزاء.
For Allah rewards the patient ones with the most beautiful reward.
والله يقول إنما يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بغير حساب.
Allah says that the patient ones will be given their reward without count.
لذلك حينما أنظر إلى عظيم الأجر وعظيم الجزاء
So when I consider the greatness of the reward,
إذا صبرت
if I am patient,
على من ظلمني
if I am patient with
أو على البلية التي نزلت بي من فقد ولد وذهاب مال.
When I am to be patient when I am oppressed by someone, or when I go through a calamity, when I lose wealth or children or whatever.
فإن هذا يخفف عني عظيم هذه المصيبة.
So witnessing the reward for it, this will reduce the amount of the calamity.
تصور أن صديقا لك
Imagine that a friend of yours,
بعد سنوات طوال
after long years of friendship,
خانك في معاملة مالية.
he betrayed you in some sort of a financial dealing.
واكتشفت أنه يسرقك.
And you discovered that he is stealing from you.
وأنه يغشك.
And that he is betraying you or cheating you.
بعد أن أمنته.
After you are treating him as if he's someone who is trustworthy.
كيف تصبر على هذه المصيبة؟
How can you be patient for this calamity?
إذن النقطة الأولى أن ألاحظ حسن الجزاء لمن يصبر.
The first point is to witness the good reward for those who are patient.
النقطة الثانية أو الأمر الثاني
The second point
انتظار الفرج.
is to wait for the relief.
ولذلك قالوا
This is why they said,
لولا الأمل ما حصل عمل.
were it not for the hope, people will not do any work.
لولا الأمل
Were it not for hope,
لأيس الناس.
then the people would despair.
إن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا.
Along hardship there is ease, along hardship there is ease.
لذلك يا إخوة
This is why, brothers,
ينبغي للإنسان أن يكون متفائلا حتى في أشد المصاعب.
one should be optimistic even through the most difficult times.
ونبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم
And our Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم,
فيه الأسوة والقدوة.
there is a good example for us.
ففي أصعب المراحل
In the most difficult parts
وأحلكها
and the most dark of these,
حينما كان يضرب الصخرة وهو يحفر الخندق.
when he was hitting the rock, when he was digging the trench,
بشرهم بفتح المدائن.
he gave them the good news that al-Mada'in will be opened up.
وبشرهم بفتح الإسلام
And he
وانتشاره.
gave them the good news that Islam will spread.
وهم محاصرون.
While they are being surrounded by the enemies.
فلا بد للإنسان أن ينتبه إلى مثل هذا المعنى.
So the human being must take note of this meaning.
إذن ما هو الأمر الأول؟
What is the first point?
ملاحظة حسن الجزاء.
So to take note, to witness the good reward
والأمر
of the
الثاني
patient ones. The second one,
أن أنتظر الفرج.
to wait for the relief from Allah.
والأمر الثالث
The third matter,
تهوين البلية والمصيبة.
to look down upon the calamity
بأمرين.
by two matters.
الأمر الأول أن أعد نعم الله علي.
The first one in reducing or looking down upon the calamity is to start counting the favors of Allah upon me.
أخذ مني شيئا لكنه أعطاني أشياء كثيرة.
He took from me something, but he gave me many other things.
فحينما أتذكر عظيم النعم التي أعطيتها,
So when I remember the great favors that I have been granted,
هان علي تلك المصيبة التي نزلت بي.
then this calamity that has befallen me would be reduced and diminished.
فرأيت أن هذه المصيبة كقطرة في بحر.
So I would look at this calamity as if it is a droplet in the sea.
وإن تعدوا نعمة الله لا تحصوها.
And if you were to count the favors of Allah, you will not be able to count them.
كثير من الناس يا إخوة ولا بد أن أنبه إلى هذا الأمر.
Many of the people, brothers, and I have to bring attention to this matter.
ينظرون إلى النعم في ظاهر الأمر.
They look at the favors, the outside, the outward favors.
يلبسوا أجمل الثياب.
They wear the best of clothing.
يسكنوا أفخر البيوت.
They live in the most fancy of the homes.
يركبوا أحسن السيارات.
They ride the best of the cars.
فينظر إليه الناس بعين بل بعيون.
So the people look at him with an eye or with many eyes.
ولو نظروا إلى ما حرم هذا الإنسان منه.
And if they look at what is it that this person has been deprived of,
لتمنوا أن يبقوا على ما هم فيه.
then they would wish that they would keep whatever they have.
مثال.
An example.
أحد كبار أثرياء بلدنا.
One of the richest people in our country.
وهو أحد أصحاب الفنادق فنادق الخمسة نجوم.
He is an owner of one of the hotels chains, 5-star hotels.
في آخر 10 سنوات من حياته.
In the last 10 years of his life.
منع من الهواء أن يتنفسه.
He was not able to breathe.
فكان يجب أن يضع الأكسجين على فمه 24 ساعة.
He had to put the oxygen mask on his face 24 hours.
ماذا أغنت عنه الأموال؟
How did these amounts of money help him?
الكل يحسده. عنده مال كثير.
Everybody envies him. He has a lot of money. He has a lot of wealth.
لكن انظروا كيف حرمه الله من الهواء.
But look at how Allah has deprived him from the air.
رجل آخر.
Another man.
من كبار الأثرياء.
One of the richest, the wealthiest people.
في بلدنا.
In our country.
عنده ابنة شابة أو فتية.
A daughter who is a youth.
كانت تصاب بالأمراض.
She used to get sick.
بعد بحث وعلاج اكتشفوا أن مشكلتها أن هذا المرض الذي يصيبها والإشكال بسبب القمح.
So after research and after going to the doctors, they found that she has a problem in her body, and that problem is due to القمح يا شيخ.
قمح.
The flour يعني.
فمنعها مادة القمح الطحين يعني الخبز. فمنعها الأطباء من أكل مادة القمح.
So the doctors said that she cannot eat the wheat flour.
وأي مادة تدخل فيها مادة القمح.
Anything that has anything that gluten or flour in it, she cannot eat.
من خبز وكيك وغير
ذلك. Bread, cake, whatever, she cannot eat any of that.
إذا ما أغنت الأموال.
Then the wealth did not help.
لذلك كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يحضنا أن نسأل اللهم إني أسألك العفو والعافية.
This is why Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم used to encourage us to ask Allah عز وجل for العفو and العافية, pardon and well-being.
فإذا أعطاك العفو فهذه أمنت الجنة. وإذا أعطاك العافية أمنت الدنيا.
So if you are given afu, pardon, then you are safe in terms of the worldly next life. You get paradise. And if you are given well-being, then your worldly affairs will be good.
فأنت بذلك أمنت الدارين.
So in this way, you are safe in the two worlds, this life and in the next life.
الأمر الثاني يهون به البلية.
The other matter, or the second matter that will diminish or reduce the calamity for you,
أن تتذكر سوالف النعم.
For you to remember the early favors
التي أنعم الله بها عليك.
that Allah has favored you with.
أعطاك زوجة.
He gave you a wife.
طيبة.
Good wife.
أعطاك مال.
He gave you money.
أعطاك أبناء.
Children.
أعطاك وظيفة طيبة.
A job.
أخذ منك شيئا يسيرا.
He took away from you something that is little.
تذكر تلك النعم.
So remember those favors,
وانتهى الإشكال.
and the problem will be
لذلك
finished.
كثير ممن يعيش في هذه البلاد ونحوها
This is why many of the people who live in this country, this land, and the likes of this land,
ممن لا ينتبه إلى هذه المعاني,
those who do not witness or do not understand those meanings,
إذا نزلت بأحدهم بلية
if one of them goes through a calamity,
سارع إلى
he will rush to commit suicide.
قتل نفسه.
He will kill himself.
لا يتذكر عظيم النعم عليه.
He does not remember the great favors that were given to him.
حتى لأجل محبوبته وصاحبته.
Even because of or for the sake of his
إذا أعرضت عنه
the one that he loves, the girl that he loves, if she turns away from him,
صبر قليلا.
he would be patient for a little while.
فإن ازدادت
If it goes more,
ألقى نفسه من مرتفع
then he throws himself from a high place.
أو شرب سم فئران.
Or he will poison himself, even a
أو
poison
إلى
that's
آخره.
used for the rats.
ما صبر.
Or else, the point is he's not patient.
لذلك يا إخوة كان الصبر أساسا في سعادة الدارين.
This is why patience is the basis for the happiness in the two worlds.
سعادة الدنيا وسعادة الآخرة.
Happiness in this life and happiness in the next life.
والفرق بين الناجح والراسب الصبر.
And the difference between the winner and the loser is patience.
كلانا يقدم وعنده امتحان في مادة ما.
Each one of us, he would be tested and he has an exam in a certain subject.
أنا صبرت فدرست.
I was patient, so I studied.
وقرأت وطالعت.
And I read and I understood.
وحفظت ما طلب مني.
And I memorized what I was asked to memorize.
فكان الوضع الطبيعي
So the natural result,
بإذن الله أن أنجح.
by the will of Allah, is that I will be succeeding.
وآخر لم يصبر.
Another one, he was not patient.
وأخذ يقلب الصفحات مع أف وأف.
He was just flipping the pages, being angry, being disgusted.
وحفظ أشياء.
And he memorized some.
وترك الكثير.
And he left a lot.
يأتي إلى الامتحان.
He comes to the exam.
القلب يضطرب.
His heart is shaking.
والنفس ترتجف.
And his soul is shaking.
وحتى المعلومات التي حفظها نسيها.
Even the information that he memorized, he forgot.
من خوفه.
Because he is afraid.
فالوضع الطبيعي أن يغصب.
The natural result is that he would fail.
إذن علامة النجاح.
So the sign for success is patience.
وعلامة الرسوب.
And the sign for
ألا
failure
تصبر.
is no patience.
وهذا يستوي فيه الجميع.
And all
المسلم وغير المسلم.
all of the people, the humans, are equal in this, the Muslim or the non-Muslim.
لذلك الغرب نجح في الدنيا لأنهم صبروا عليها.
This is why the Western world, they were successful in worldly matters. That is because they were very patient with it.
وأخذوا بأسباب النجاح.
And they acted upon the means and the measures of success.
وهذه من سنن الحياة.
And this is from the laws that Allah put in the life and universe.
نفتح مجالا يا إخوة للسؤال
So
دقائق.
we'll open up.
وإذا لم يكن ننتقل إلى منزلة أخرى إن شاء الله تبارك وتعالى هي منزلة الرضا. نسأل الله أن نكون من أهلها.
So we open up the floor for some questions. If there are no questions, then we'll move on to the station of pleasure or being satisfied with Allah. Inshallah. تفضل.
تفضل.
هناك من يقول لا تسأل عن زيادة الصبر لأن الله سبحانه وتعالى سيرسل عليك ملائكة لكي تعلمك الصبر.
The question says that some people say, do not ask Allah for patience, يعني that to make you patient, because if you ask Allah that, then Allah will send calamities to you that will make you learn patience.
هذا كلام خطأ.
This is a wrong statement, the Shaykh.
وأرد عليه بكلمة.
And the refutation to that is one word.
لو كان الكلام صحيحا لما قال لكل صبار شكور.
If this was true, then Allah wouldn't say that as the verses that were recited,
ولكان يكفي أن يقال صابر.
The signs for every very patient ones and very thankful.
والصبار هو كثير الصبر الذي يتمرن عليه.
The sabbar that is praised here is the very patient one who goes through patience a lot and trains himself to it.
وقبل أن تأتي تكلمنا على هذه المسألة بالتفصيل.
And before you came, he said, the questioner, before you came, we spoke in detail about this.
وذكرنا أن الصبر يحتاج إلى تمرين.
We mentioned that patience requires training.
كما يمرن الإنسان عضلاته في الرياضة.
Like the person, he would train his muscles when he's
قوياً.
exercising, so therefore he becomes strong.
والسؤال
The question is,
هل الناس جميعا في الصبر سواء أم يتفاوتون؟
are the people, I'm asking a question here, are the people all equal in terms of patience, or they vary? يتفاوتون. They are
كثيرا
different.
أم قليلا؟
Very much or little?
كثيرا.
A lot. They differ a lot in
ما
terms of
الذي
being
جعل
patient.
الناس يتفاوتون في ذلك؟
What is it that made them differ in terms of patience?
أن هذا مرن نفسه ورباها
That this
على
one,
الصبر والاحتساب
one
والأجر
person,
وهذا لم.
one person would train himself to patience to seek the reward from Allah. The other one didn't.
نعم.
تحب نأخذ هذا
كيف؟
كيف يورث الإنسان التوكل في قلبه وكيف يزيده في قلبه? How can the person initiate or have patience in his have tawakkul, reliance upon Allah in his heart, and how can he increase the reliance for Allah in his heart?
الجواب عنه أن أعيد شرح التوكل.
The answer to this is to repeat explaining التوكل.
لكن أعيده إلى أن يحضر أو التسجيل الذي سجلته في درجات التوكل.
I will refer him to the recording because it was recorded, the levels of tawakkul, and actually the lecture from yesterday is already up, and if you go on to the website and click, you will be able to watch what was done yesterday.
درجات التوكل 8.
There are 8 degrees or levels of tawakkul.
تبدأ بمعرفة الله.
Starting with knowing Allah Azza wa Jalla,
وتنتهي ب
and it will end up
بالرضا.
with pleasure, being pleased with Allah.
كلما قوي الإنسان في هذه الدرجات
The more the person is stronger in these degrees and levels,
ازداد توكله على الله.
then his tawakkul upon Allah, reliance upon Allah will increase.
وثبت قلبه عليه.
And his heart will be firm on that.
في سؤال.
حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول ولكن أجيب أنا غير في الشطر يعني الصبر ضياء والصلاة نور. هل هناك اختلاف ما بين هذه يعني شرح الكلمة
نعم.
The hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it says that prayer is light and patience is illumination. Is there a difference between light and illumination here?
لو خرجت في عز الظهيرة في أشهر الصيف.
If you go out in the afternoon during the hot summer,
تحت ضياء الشمس.
under the illumination of the sun,
هل تتحملها؟
would you be able to endure it?
وإن تحملتها قليلا
And if you endure it a little bit,
أصابتك المشقة.
then you would go through difficulty.
ونزلت منك.
You will sweat.
السبب
The reason,
أن ضياء الشمس فيه حرارة.
the illumination of the sun has heat with it,
وفيه شدة.
and it's strong.
والصبر كذلك.
And patience is like that.
وأما الصلاة فهي كنور القمر.
As for the prayer, then it's like the light of the moon.
فلو خرجت في ليلة مقمرة
If you go out in a moony night
ومكثت طيلة الليل
and you stay all night long,
هل تصاب بمشقة
would you go through hardship
بسبب تلك
because
الإضاءة؟
of that light of the moon?
وهذا الفرق بينهم.
This is the difference between the two.
نعم.
Yes.
تفضل.
تفضل.
قال هل يسرق المؤمن؟ نعم. هل يزني؟ نعم. هل يكذب؟ لا. هل يكذب؟ لا. يستدل بهذا الحديث.
حديث ضعيف.
من يكذب؟
ضعيف. فات.
So the brother is mentioning a narration that says that it says that it's a weak hadith, the Sheikh said, but it says would the believer steal, would the believer commit adultery, and the answer was yes, but would he lie? And the answer is no, he doesn't lie. So he's asking because this shows that the one who lies is not a Muslim. The Sheikh said that this hadith is a weak hadith, so therefore the point is not there, so it's not authentic. The difference between patience and forbearance.
بينهما تداخل.
There is closeness in between the two of them.
طبعا نحن الآن شرحنا الصبر.
We explained the patience.
حينما نشرح الحلم وسنتكلم عن الحلم إن شاء الله.
We will talk about forbearance.
سيظهر لك الفرق جليا.
So when we talk about forbearance, inshallah, the difference.
لأن الإجابة حقيقة طويلة يعني تحتاج
because the answer is long and it will take time. Yes, inshallah, if we write those questions down, it will be easier to manage. Inshallah. تفضل.
بين التوكل والتفويض.
قلنا التفويض من أعظم درجات التوكل.
What is the difference?
وأفوض أمري إلى الله.
What is the difference between tawakkul, reliance, and tafweed, which is referring the matters to Allah? The Sheikh answered by saying that we said that the tafweed is actually the highest level of reliance upon Allah, is to refer all matters to Him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do whatever He wishes to do.
يعني أذكرك أخي الكريم بقول ابن القيم عندما تكلم عن درجة التفويض في درجات التوكل قال وهو روح التوكل ولبه وحقيقته.
So regarding at-tafweed, which is the 7th level, he said that tafweed, referring matters to Allah, is the soul of reliance and its core and its reality.
وهو إلقاء أموره كلها إلى الله.
And that is for him to cast all of his affairs to Allah, to refer them to Allah, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will determine the affairs for you. What things can be done to help us lower gaze and be patient? يعني يقول ما هي الأشياء التي تساعدنا لغض البصر وكون الإنسان يكون صابرا عن يعني النظر.
تذهب إلى مكة.
Go to Mecca, the Sheikh said.
يعني أنا أضرب منكت يعني نكتة.
I'm just telling you a joke.
أقول أحد الشباب المراهقين.
One of the young guys, the teenagers.
يذهب يجلس أمام مدرسة بنات.
He goes and he sits in front of a school, a girls' school.
عند خروجهن من المدرسة.
When they are about to leave from the school.
ثم يقول اللهم ارزقني غض البصر.
Then he says, "Oh Allah, grant me lowering of my gaze." A father does not encourage his son.
بس عفوا حتى لا
تفضل يا شيخ.
لا أفهم خطأ.
So he said, so that I
من
will not
أصعب
be misunderstood.
من أصعب الأشياء يا إخوة
From the most difficult matters
لمن يعيش في هذه البلاد
for the ones who live in this land
أن يغض البصر.
to lower the gaze.
وأقول هذا صراحة.
And I say this frankly.
لذلك يحتاج إلى جهاد عظيم.
So it needs a lot of striving.
من أعظم ما يغض البصر أن يتزوج.
One of the greatest matters that will help him
وتكون-
lower his gaze is to get married.
وتكون زوجته جميلة.
And his wife should be beautiful.
وعنده القناعة.
And he should be someone who has the quality of content.
ويبذل الجهد أن يبتعد عن تلك القنوات.
And he strives hard to stay away from these areas that
التي فيها ما تعلمون.
he means, I believe, the
وما لا
القنوات
تعلمون.
الفضائية, Sheikh.
نعم.
He's talking about the TV, staying away from these stations that will bring whatever you know.
وهناك بدائل
So there are things that will replace that.
وخيارات كثيرة.
A lot of choices.
وأما
that
في
are
الشارع
available.
فاتقوا الله ما استطعتم.
As for the street, then fear Allah as much as you are able
فالنظرة
to.
الأولى لك لكن ليس هكذا.
For the first look is for you. يعني
والثاني
you're not
عليك.
held responsible. But this first look is not like when you know, gaze and pause in the one look, right? But the second one is against you. The second look is against you.
لذلك قال علي رضي الله عنه الأولى لك والثانية عليك.
This is why he said the first one is for you, but the second one is against you.
فاتقوا الله ما استطعتم.
So fear Allah as much as you are able.
وإذا كنت في مثلا أنا مثلا لما ألبس النظارة أرى جيدا. لما ألبس النظارة الرؤية. فإذا خرجت في سيارة ولست السائق أخلع النظارة.
So he
فأريح
said,
نفسي.
if you are like me, if I put on the glasses, then I see good. If I take it off, then it's, kind of. So if I ride a car and I'm not the driver, then I take the glasses off. So I, help myself.
وأما من كانت عيونه 6/6
But those whose eyes are sharp,
فليتق الله.
then let them fear Allah.
هي تقوى الله هي التي لكن يا إخوة ليست المصيبة أن تعصي.
The calamity is not that you disobey.
لكن المصيبة أن تعصي وتشعر أنك لم تفعل شيئا.
The real calamity is that you disobey Allah and then you see yourself as if you've done nothing.
المصيبة أن تتكلم مع امرأة متمرجة جدا.
The calamity is for you to talk to a woman who
لا
is
تكاد تلبس شيئا.
not properly dressed, as if she's not wearing anything.
ثم لا تفكر بعدها أن تقول أستغفر الله.
Then you do not even think after that to say, I seek forgiveness from Allah.
هنا
Astaghfirullah.
المصيبة.
This is the calamity. A father does not encourage his son to get married while the son is going through hardship. Can you advise the son and the father? قل هناك أب لا يشجع ولده على الزواج وبينما هذا الولد يعني يمر بصعوبات ومشاكل فهل من نصيحة للأب والابن؟
يعني حقيقة أنا لو كنت مقيما في هذه البلاد
If I was living in this land really,
وعندي ولد
and I have a child,
أزوجه وعمره 16 سنة.
I will get him married when he's 16,
17.
maybe 17.
وإلا فلت.
Otherwise, I will lose him.
هذه نصيحتي لمن يريد أن يحافظ على ولده.
This is my advice for the one who want to keep
لكن
and
نحن
preserve his son.
قطعا كل نفس أدرى بظرفها.
Every person knows their conditions.
فهنا أنا أعرف أن هناك إشكال في السكن.
I know that there is a problem in terms of housing.
وإشكال في مثل هذه الأشياء
and
أكثر من غيرها.
Problems in this.
فنحن قد لا نلوم الأب.
Maybe we cannot blame the father.
إذا كان لا يستطيع أن
if he is unable to
يكون
support
مؤهلا لولده كي يتزوج في هذه السن
support
المبكرة.
his child to get married in this young age.
أما إن كان يملك
As for the case when he's able,
وعنده قدرة مالية
he has financial ability,
فليحصن ولده
then let him protect and fortify his
بشرط
son. With the condition
أن ينظر أن ولده عنده عقل وفهم.
the condition is to for him to see that his son, to find that his son has wisdom and intellect,
ويعرف قيمة الزواج.
and he knows the value of marriage.
فيدخل إلى الحياة الزوجية بفهم.
So he enters the marriage life with understanding.
والناس في هذا يتفاوتون.
And people are different, they vary in these things. How to be patient against eating too much food and sleep. كيف يصبر الإنسان عن الأكل الكثير والنوم الكثير.
سؤال صعب.
It's a difficult question.
النفس يقولون النفس وما عودتها.
Your soul will be trained as whatever you get it accustomed to.
عودها على الثرثرة تثرثر.
If you get your soul accustomed to speaking too much, then it will continue.
عودها على التلصص السماع تفعل.
If you get it accustomed to eavesdropping or to try to listen to what others are saying without their knowledge, then it will do that.
عودها على النظر تعتاد.
If you get it accustomed to looking, then it will look and gaze.
عودها على تسبيح الله وتحميده تفعل.
If you get yourself accustomed to glorifying Allah and saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, it will do that.
والمعدة كذلك.
And the stomach is like that too.
عودها على كثرة الطعام تتمدد.
If you get it accustomed to a lot of food, then it will expand.
وعودها على قلة الطعام تتقلص.
So if you get it accustomed to small amounts of food, it will contract.
وأذكرك بحديث.
And I remind you with one hadith.
يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Which he says عليه الصلاة والسلام.
ما ملأ آدمي.
That the son of Adam wouldn't fill up
وعاء شرا من بطنه.
a vessel worse than his stomach.
فإن كان لا محالة.
If there's no way out of that,
فثلث لطعامك.
then 1/3 for your food,
وثلث لشرابك.
1/3 for your drink,
وثلث لنفسك.
and 1/3 for the air.
الآن 3/3 للطعام.
Right now, the people have all of these 3/3 just for the food.
والماء يزرقه تزريق.
The water is just being pushed somehow.
والنفس على الخلاق.
As for the air, then this is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him
في نكتة.
place for them.
أحد من يكثر الأكل والطعام.
There's a joke from one of those who eat and drink a lot.
قال ملأت البطن من الزيق إلى الزيق. هذه الساعات.
كيف نفسر
من
الزيق؟
هنا إلى هنا.
He's talking that he completely filled up his stomach from top to bottom. That's it. There's no space left.
قال حتى الماء زرقته تزريق.
Even water, it was like pushed through somehow.
فقيل له.
There's no space for it.
فقيل له بقيت حلوى.
They said, well, there is some sweets left.
فقال أبقيت خلوى للحلوى.
He said, I left some little space for the sweet.
يعني نعتاد يا إخواني من الأجوبة في مثل هذا الباب.
One of the answers in regards this
النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
is the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم.
كان يكثر من الصيام.
He used to fast a lot.
فيصوم 3 أيام البيض.
So he fasts the 3 days,
يصوم
the white days.
الاثنين والخميس.
He fasts Mondays and Thursdays.
هذه كلها تخفف يا إخواني.
All of these they will reduce.
يعني مثلا أنا عندي وضع الطبيعي لا يعني كرشي رضي الله عنه مليء، لكن أنا لا أتعشى، لا أعرف العشاء.
For instance, I got myself accustomed so that I don't
يعني
have dinner.
العشاء هو أخطر شيء على الإنسان.
يعني
وهذه
this
تعمل
dinner that's
الإشكالات.
eaten late at night is in the evening gives problem and makes problems.
فعود نفسك أن تنظم الطعام وتقلل الكمية، ثم بعد ذلك الغي العشاء.
Yeah, so get yourself accustomed to timings to organize your meals, then cut down on the amounts and then cancel the dinner.
والمجتمعات هنا تعاني من السمنة.
The societies in these lands, they are complaining about obesity.
والسبب نوعية الطعام الجاهز.
The reason is the ready-made food
وعدم الحركة.
and no movement.
فيتقي الله عز وجل في هذه اللقيمات التي يأكلها.
So let one fear Allah Azza wa Jal regarding those bites that one is consuming.
وقطعا الإنسان إذا اعتاد أن يأكل كثيرا مع الوقت يدرب نفسه قليلا، يقلل حتى يصل إلى حد ما المعدة تأخذ على ذلك.
So if one's habit is to eat a lot of food, then let him get accustomed that he should reduce the amount and train himself to that little by little until the amount of food is made smaller, and then he gets used to these smaller amounts. There are questions that are not related. إما يعني نأخذها أو
ما في بس
نتركها.
هذا السؤال ما في.
هل يوجد أي علامات للمهدي المنتظر؟ Are there signs for the promised guided one?
طبعا نحن نؤمن ابتداء أن الله عز وجل سيبعث في آخر الزمان
We believe that Allah will send towards the end of the time a man
يواطئ اسمه اسم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
whose name is like the name of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم,
وهو من آل بيت النبي
and
عليه
he is from
الصلاة
the family
والسلام.
of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم.
يبعثه الله في آخر الزمان
Allah will send him towards the end of time,
فيصلح به الناس.
and he will reform by him the people.
وهناك علائم
there are signs
من علائم خروجه مما ذكره أهل الاختصاص
that some of the people specialized in this topic or this subject they mentioned.
العلامة الأولى
One of the signs is
اقتتال الناس على الملك في جزيرة العرب.
that the people will fight over rulership in the Arabian Peninsula.
فيكون الناس في اضطراب شديد.
So the people will be in a great
وفي صعوبة
calamities, shakiness,
كبرى.
and a lot of difficulties.
فيأتي مفرجا لإشكالاتهم.
So he will come as a relief for these problems that arise between them.
الصورة الثانية أو العلامة الثانية
The other sign
هو قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
is the statement of the Messenger صلى الله
كما
عليه
في
وسلم,
صحيح البخاري
as in the Sahih al-Bukhari.
يوشك أن ينحسر الفرات عن كنز من ذهب.
It is about that the river Al-Furat will show or will emerge from it a mountain of gold.
طبعا نهر الفرات هو نهر في العراق.
This river Al-Furat is in Iraq.
ينبع من جنوب تركيا ويدخل إلى سوريا
it springs from the
ثم
south of
ينتقل إلى
Turkey,
العراق وينتهي في شط العرب.
goes through Syria and then to Iraq, and he ends at the Shatt al-Arab.
هذا النهر في آخر الزمان
This
سينحسر
This river, the water,
وينكشف تحته جبل من ذهب.
and the people will discover under it a mountain of gold.
فيقتتل الناس عليه.
The people start fighting about it.
فحضنا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
The Prophet ﷺ encouraged us
ألا نأتيه
that we don't go there,
وأخبر أنه سيقتل من كل 1003
and he mentioned that from every 1,000 people fighting over it, there will be 999 people killed.
وكلهم يقول أنا هذا الواحد.
And everyone would say, I am the one who will be left to
فإذا
get the
سمعتم به
gold.
فلا تأتوا.
So if you hear about it, then don't go there.
هذه بعض علائم خروج المهدي.
This is some of the
عليه
signs
السلام.
of the emergence of Al-Mahdi alayhi salam. لعله تعرجون على المهدي عند
لا، مهدي الشيعة
أظنه سأل من أجل هذا والله
لا،
أعلم.
المهدي حتى عند النصارى عندهم مهدي
As for the Mahdi or the guided
يسمى
one,
المخلص.
according to the Shia and even the
وهذه أغلب الديانات.
Christians, they have someone who is going to come, al-Mukhallis, the comforter.
محمد بن الحسن العسكري نزل إلى السرداب
So
في سامراء.
for the Shia, Muhammad ibn al-Hassan al-Askari, he went
طبعا هذه
into,
عقيدتهم.
that's what they believe, that he is in a city called Samarra. He went
ولم يخرج
into
بعد.
underground and he did not come out yet.
وخرج، طبعا قالوا سيخرج في آخر الزمان يخلص الشيعة ممن ظلمهم.
So they said he will come out towards the end of
وهم
time to
الناصبة.
save or relieve the Shia from their enemies.
وطبعا كل من ليس شيعيا فهو ناصبي.
Those
من
who are
المسلمين.
against the family of the Prophet. So,
ونحن نبرأ والله.
so for them, everyone who is not from them, he is from the enemies of the family
من
of the
الوقوع
Prophet.
في علي.
And we declare ourselves free and innocent from defaming or attacking Ali radiallahu anhu.
فعلي رضي الله عنه من خيار الصحابة.
So Ali radiallahu anhu is from the best of the companions.
وهو صهر النبي صلى الله عليه
And he is
وسلم.
the in-law of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
ومن تكلم عليه بكلمة نذمه ونقدح فيه.
The one who attacks him even with one word, then we dispraise him and we defame.
بل هم والله أساءوا إلى علي.
Rather, they, that is the Shia, they are the ones who has done harm to Ali radiallahu anhu.
حينما نسبوا إليه أشياء ليست له.
That's when they claimed for him things that he does not have.
فكذبوا عليه.
So they lied against him.
ونسبوا إليه ما ليس حقا له ولا يقبله.
They attributed to him matters or qualities that are not his right, and he himself, he does not accept to be given those attributes.
محمد بن الحسن العسكري هذا أولا لم يولد أصلا.
Muhammad ibn al-Hassan al-Askari, this person, first of all, he was not born.
وهو الإمام الثاني عشر.
And this is what they call the 12th Imam for
من
them.
الأئمة الاثنى عشر.
From the 12th
عند
Imam,
الشيعة الرافضة.
according to the Shia, the Rafida.
فهذا أصلا لم يولد.
He was not even born.
وبالتالي لم يدخل السرداب.
And therefore he did not go underground as they
وقضية
claim.
السرداب كلها وهم وخيال.
And this issue of him going underground is all of it is false and imaginary.
وقالوا في المثل
And they said in a proverb,
أثبت العرش ثم انقش.
affirm that the throne exists, then do an engravement on the
فأثبتوا
throne.
لنا وجود محمد بن الحسن ثم
So,
بعد ذلك نثبت لكم أو نناقشكم في باقي المسائل.
so prove for us that Muhammad ibn al-Hassan exists, and then we will discuss the rest of the affair.
وإذا كان غيرنا يتبنى قضية المهدي.
And if those who are other than us, they are adopting this issue of al-Mahdi,
فيخطئ فيها ويزل.
and they are wrong, and they mention things that are
فلا يعني
mistake.
ذلك أن نخطئ نحن فنلغي ما ثبت عن النبي.
So this does not mean that we now commit the mistake just to go against them, that we deny what was affirmed from the Prophet ﷺ of the reports
صلى الله
regarding
عليه وسلم.
al-Mahdi. عليه الصلاة والسلام.
وهناك كتاب أنصح به
There is a book that was authored that I advise you
وهي
to get.
اسمه أحاديث المهدي.
It's called The Reports of al-Mahdi.
في مجلدين.
It comes in 2 volumes.
المجلد الأول
The first
في
volume
الأحاديث الصحيحة
regarding the authentic ahadith and the reports regarding that.
والمجلد الثاني
The second volume
في الأحاديث الضعيفة.
is regarding the weak and unauthentic narrations regarding it.
ومؤلف الكتاب هو عبد العليم الدكتور عبد العليم البستوي.
The author of the book is Dr. Abdul Alim al-Bastawi.
وهو أظنه هندي
He is from the scholars of India.
أو أفغاني على كل
أو
أظن أفغاني.
أفغانستان.
أتوقع أنه أفغاني.
أو أفغانستان.
هو طبعا هذه رسالة دكتور ماجستير من الجامعة الإسلامية قبل حوالي 30 سنة.
He got his master's by this book from the Islamic University 30 years ago.
فيها تفصيل طيب.
And it has good details about
والرجوع
this.
إليها إن شاء الله.
So I refer you to it, inshallah. خيرا إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله.
ممكن نختم إن شاء
طب
الله.
إن شاء الله نتكلم بإذنه سبحانه بعد صلاة العصر بإذنه سبحانه. نبدأ بمنزلة الرضا، ونسأل الله أن يوفقنا إلى شرحها وبيانها، فإنها من أعظم ما كتب هذا الإمام العلم ابن القيم رحمه الله.
So inshallah after Asr, بإذن we talk about the station of Ar-Rida, being pleased with Allah, and this is one of the great